Well, here we are, just like I told you. Within 2 weeks now, the Democrats have brought articles of impeachment or threatened to bring articles of impeachment against President Trump. Now we have the wonderful representative from Texas right here who's threatening to bring articles of impeachment against Trump for his comments about that he's going to, quote, take over the Gaza Strip. Let's just take a listen into this nut job for a little bit.
Mr. Speaker, and I rise today, Mr. Speaker, with a to whom it may concern message.
Let's all be honest, no one cares.
To whom it may concern, ethnic cleansing in Gaza is not a joke, especially when it emanates from the President of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, when he has the ability to perfect what he says. Ethnic cleansing in Gaza is no joke, and the Prime Minister of Israel should be ashamed.
Let's all be honest for a second. Yes. Did Donald Trump say yesterday that he would love to take over the Gaza Strip, that the United States should absolutely have a ownership in the Gaza Strip? Absolutely. But we all know how Trump is, and we talked about this in our video yesterday. Trump sets that when he negotiates, he sets the bar sky high. He asks for the world. That's just how he is, and eventually they're going to settle in the middle. Now, is there a potential possibility that we could see ownership in the Gaza Strip? Absolutely. I don't think it's something that can be taken off the table as of right now. But this is very premature. This is talks at this point. This is Trump rambling about something. This, no different than this guy just rambling. Democrat Al Green from Texas, the 9th District. This is just, but here we go.
Knowing the history of his people, to stand there and allow such things to be said. Ethnic cleansing has been a crime against humanity.
Well, let's also take a look at what's going on right now in Gaza. For the past year and a half, because of the terrorist activities of Hamas, the leaders who were duly elected, now granted 20 years ago they were elected, but the leaders of Gaza, Hamas, waged a war against Israel where they killed, on October 7th, they killed 1,200 Israelis, and they took about 250 to 500 of them hostage. And some are still held hostage as they try and negotiate a 3-phase peace deal between the United States, Israel, or I guess it's really Israel and Gaza. It's like, is this a joke? Gaza is nothing but ruins at this point, and unloaded ammunition. It would almost be a crime against humanity to demand that these people go back into Gaza. The infrastructure there could collapse at any moment. You could see major catastrophes if you sent millions of people back into Gaza. Who knows what could happen? It is an unsafe area to be. And guess what? You know, Gaza, the people in Gaza, Hamas, you lost this war. You lost. The war, you lost the war. You don't get to dictate the terms of this, but of course we have wonderful geniuses like this in the United States that are going to do anything they can to obstruct peace deals in the Middle East. But let's keep listening.
And I stand here today in the well to denounce what was said, to denounce what the president said, to denounce the complicity of the Prime Minister of Israel, and to remind people that Dr. King was right. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And injustice in Gaza is a threat to justice in the United States of America. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment.
So it's going to be from the ground up. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the ground up. It sounds like it's coming from the top down, Mr. Al Green. It sounds like you are trying to push this on everyone else, that we need to impeach the President of the United States for words that he said. We didn't try and impeach Joe Biden, or we didn't impeach Joe Biden, even though he had one of the most disastrous foreign policy disasters that we've ever seen in Afghanistan, the pullout from Afghanistan. And now you're going to come and say that we need to impeach Donald Trump because he made some comments? What a joke. What a joke. Al Green is very famous for trying to impeach Trump 3 or 4 times during Trump's first administration and miserably failing, obviously. He tried, I believe, between 2018 and 2019, I believe he introduced articles of impeachment about 3 or 4 times. It's like, this is a joke. The American people voted for this. The American people voted for Donald Trump to be in the White House to lead these negotiations. They know how he is. And, the Democrats couldn't last, as this tweet right here says, the Democrat Party couldn't last 2 weeks to begin undoing the results of the last election. The people ultimately rejected you. The people of the United States rejected you by far. But, of course, they're going to move forward with these impeachment proceedings. He'll most likely file them here soon, I'm guessing. It's a very tough situation that we have in Gaza right now. But we're not the ones who are making it tough. It's the fact that there are terrorists. Why should we sympathize with terrorists? Why should we listen to what the terrorists want? They are the terrorists. We are not. They will do what we tell them to do. They lost this war. It is over. They're going to do what the United States and Israel wants them to do. And that's just how it is. We'll see. But like we said, this is just how Trump negotiates. He starts it off sky high, and then he'll eventually work his way down to the middle. That's just how Trump works. You look at any deal he's ever cut. You look at what's going on with Panama. Now, granted, that isn't over with, and Trump's still going to say that he wants to take it over. But he's saying that we must take it back over. But then they're able to negotiate a deal with Panama where they don't renew the Belt and Road Initiative, I believe, that they had with China. An infrastructure project that they signed back in, I believe it was 2017. But the Belt and Road Initiative, they were able to get them to pull out of that. You look at Canada. Trump says he wants Canada to become the 51st state, that he's going to take it over. Well, look what happened. They're able to strike a deal on border security. Trump just kind of throws stuff out there, and that's just how it is. We have to be serious about this. And these shenanigans, they're nothing but a distraction. They're a distraction from the real issues that need to be taken care of. The Democrats should look in the mirror. They had 4 years to deal with these issues. They had a year to deal with October 7th and what eventually followed from October 7th. But what did they do? They slow-walked aid to Israel. They basically kept Israel on a leash the entire time to basically where Israel got to the point where they just went off and did stuff on their own. They had their Operation Beeper, where they blew up a bunch of terrorists using beepers. It's like, this is one of the greatest counterintelligence missions that we've seen unfold on the national stage like this ever. All while the Democrats tried to hold Israel back. So, I think this is just kind of a joke at this point that they're even considering filing impeachment, articles of impeachment against Trump at this point. But we're going to see how this all plays out. So, that's it for today. Thank you.